I'm pleased to be joined by Terrie Todd, who is well known around these areas. You're from Portage La Prairie. You've just come out with a new book called April's Promise. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? What's it about?
Okay, April's Promise. People have been asking if it's a sequel to Lily's Promise, which came out last year, and the answer is yes, and the answer is no. It's I'm just going to put it up here for
There we
you to
go.
see, but Lily's Promise came out. We were talking about that about a year ago, and just last month I found out that it won in two categories in the Word Guild Awards, which is the Canada-wide organization for Christian writers, and it won contemporary fiction, and it won the best overall fiction book of the year. So I was really excited about that. April's Promise was actually written before Lily's Promise, so it's not a sequel, but it does have a similar theme, and it's set in the same era, and so people who like Lily's Promise will enjoy April's Promise as well.
Okay, sounds. And what was the kind of heart behind it? What's the message that you're hoping as an author that people will take after reading this book?
This is a story, and I'm not really spoiling it here, I don't think, because you find out fairly early. It's a story about three sisters, and the youngest learns that she is actually the daughter, the biological daughter of the oldest sister. And this secret has been kept for years. And so you find that out fairly early. And then the rest of the book is the unfolding of how this secret comes out. A tragedy has to happen before it comes out, and how all the different characters, family members, are dealing with either having to carry that secret and the stress caused by that, or when they find out, and the resentment or bitterness or betrayal that they feel, and how that's all worked out. So there's a real theme of forgiveness and family ties and unity throughout the book, and of course God's presence in it all.
Okay. And was there something that maybe from your own life that you've kind of taken and you've put into this book, and like just from own personal experience or friends' experience?
Sure. I had a friend years ago who her siblings were all quite a bit older than her. There was a big gap. And at some point in her teen years, a couple of her brothers started telling her that her oldest sister was actually her birth mother. And and then the other people in the family were saying, "No, no, no, don't listen to them. They're just messing with you, they're just teasing you." And I don't know how long that went on, but she never pursued it. She never tried to find out. She just believed that they were just, fooling with her. And so that was years ago. I'm not sure what she ever did with that, but her story always stuck in my mind because I thought I would want to know, you know. And so I just sort of picked up on that and thought, because that did happen to a lot of people, especially back then. Now things are more open. Even when a grandparent does raise a grandchild like that as their own, they know, and everybody knows what the situation is. But there was just so much shame surrounding the situation back. This is set during the 30s and 40s, and so it was important to keep that all very secret. And it actually happened to a lot of people. So I thought it would make an interesting story.
Yeah. Did you have to do much research about it? Like just the time period and more factual when you're writing?
Yes, well, all my novels are set during that time period, so I've been able to, tap into research done for other books as well, and I'm kind of always buried in that era. For the adoption stuff, yes, I did have to look up few things about how that might have happened, especially during that time period, but it's set here in Manitoba as well, so that makes it easier.
And was there a specific reason that you wanted to put it in Manitoba? Like, obviously, it's where you're from, so it's maybe like familiar to you, or?
Yes, that's right. Most of my books are set here, and partly it's familiar. I can tap into what I know and what the older generation who grew up here know. And it just helps put Manitoba on the stage for people. I've had people down in the southern states read about it. Oh, I never knew this about Canadian history, so that's been a little bit educational as well.
There you go. So it's a little bit of entertainment and learning at the same time. So it's kind of a win-win, right?
Yeah.
And so a couple minutes ago, you were just mentioning like how God is present in your stories, and that's a theme that you're trying to take. How has like your personal faith shaped your stories and kind of the path that you're going down?
My faith is such an important part of who I am that I wouldn't know how to write without including it. I also write a weekly column in our newspaper, and I call it a faith and humor column because sometimes it's humorous, sometimes it's faith, sometimes it's both, and it's just life to me. And so, yes, all my books they're considered Christian fiction, and yet I've been told that I have the ability to do that in a way that isn't preachy, and so I really appreciate when readers tell me that.
So would you say that like these books are good for like Christians, but also non-believers too? It's just kind of like everybody can take something from
yes,
it?
Absolutely, sure.
Wow, that's great. So if somebody wants to read one of your books, read this book, April's Promise, where can they find it?
This book is available on Amazon, as are all my books, in Kindle or print. And I will be having a book launch party here in Portage La Prairie at the library on this Saturday, October 21st, and it's starting at 11 and going till 2. So it's come and go. You can pop in, get this book if you want, or one of my previous titles. I'll be there signing. If you already have some of my books and you just want them signed, that's fine too. Come on by. We'll have cookies and coffee and a door prize, and it'll just be fun. So I would love to see people come.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a great time. Meet the author. You get to hear the heart behind all these books. You just get to learn more. I think that would be so much fun. So, Terrie, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
Can I just also mention that $1 from each book sold on Saturday will be going to the Portage Pregnancy Center. So, in keeping with the theme of the book a little bit, and just because I really appreciate the Pregnancy Center and all that they do for our community. So, I'll just throw that in there as well. Thanks so much for having me.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you're looking for something on Saturday to do, you can bring the family. You can all go to the library. You can get some books, get some treats, and support a great cause. So Terrie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.